Hello, everybody, and welcome into That Real Texas Team Podcast, episode 134. My name is Curtis Brown, and thank you all for checking in. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button if you're a first-time viewer here. We need to get in front of new Texans fans. With me, as always, my resident co-Texans fan, co-pilot, if you will. We've got Mike Sincere, a.k.a. Magic Mike, a.k.a. the Black Mr. Clean. And then with us in spirit, you'll hear him chiming in from time to time, is Chris, a.k.a. Pac-Man _ King Freestyle on Instagram, and that's Slim Chickens on OnlyFans. Anyway, we're going to be talking about the preseason game number 1 coming up literally tomorrow night, 7 o'clock against the Chargers. With that being said, Mike, how we doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing awesome, man. I'm glad to finally get some football. And like we were discussing before, I'm just hoping for a preseason game like that Hall of Fame game. If I get that, man, I'm in. Yeah, I'm there. A little bit of heaven. A little bit of heaven.
Yeah, it'd be nice. It'd be nice. Yeah, Chris is a little indisposed, but he'll be joining us, like I said, throughout the evening. Devil Dog already in the chat, lighting us up.
Right.
Good to see you, buddy. So look, this is an interesting time of the year. We want so badly for, there to be meaningful football, but we have to go through what many would call the meaningless games to find ourselves at the best roster going into the regular season. So how do you bring meaning to a meaningless game? Well, the NFL's been trying to figure that out for a long time. The position battles themselves are not appealing enough to bring in mass audiences. But what they are appealing enough to do is television. HBO Hard Knocks has absolutely turned training camp into a soap opera, and by and large made training camp and to a lesser extent preseason a little bit more entertaining with the behind the scenes kind of vibe that they got going on. But for our context, we've got to take a look at, who's going to be getting meaningful reps in this. What kind of expectations can we have for whoever is playing? If we do see CJ Stroud at all, you're probably just looking for him to come in, do some very positive things, and get the hell out of there with like 3 to 7 plays tops. And then you just want to see Davis Mills come in and just fucking hum that bitch.
Shred their ass.
That's what you need. And then Graham Mertz will kind of fold in the third and fourth quarters, but not the point. So what do you think is a good way to make there more meaning in these quote unquote meaningless games?
Well, something that I've always done, I've been doing this probably for like the last 10 to 15 years. I find me an unsung hero to root for. Some guy on the end of the bench. This year is good old Colin Wright from Stanford. I'm rooting for him to make the team, and as much as I hate to say it, take Tremont Smith's job.
Yeah.
That I know is going to probably be playing in the third or fourth quarter that I'm cheering for.
Yeah.
That's Charles James for me at one point. British Brooks, guys that have made an impact on our teams.
Yeah. Hell, I remember getting real hype about Scotty Phillips not too long ago. I remember. Oh man, I thought he was going to be him for sure. I was like, we got another. We got a small. He's basically like Darren Sproles, but Arian Foster in the sense that he was undrafted, and we were about to fucking go, and then he just like destroyed his knee.
Those are sad, but it's good sometimes to see guys, I'd say similar to ourselves, fighting for their careers.
Yeah.
And I'm not laughing at none of them. I'm like, for either team, I like to see these guys on there showing why we love football.
Yeah.
Guys that are playing for the love of football.
We are going to see in the third and fourth quarter, we're going to see a bunch of dudes fighting for their football lives, and you're probably never going to see a more passionate game out of anybody on that field and the guys who are fighting for the last couple spots. I mean, realistically, we haven't done it yet, but realistically, there's probably 40 to 45 spots on this team that are already locked down.
Yeah.
So
that's crazy. 40 to 45. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm here now.
no, you're fine. You're fine.
Because if you're a good team, most of your team's set.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you think about it, that's kind of what it is. You're not going to usually put a 4th round draft pick on your practice squad.
Nope.
So you got to imagine
Barely
that,
5th rounders.
right? You're going to imagine that we're going to figure out something to do with Jared Patterson. He did just rework his contract, but there's going to be a way that he just sneaks on the team.
I'm going to be honest, there's a chance Jake Andrews doesn't stay with the team long.
That is possible, but Keelan Rutledge, while he's got the blocking part of being a center down, it's the lack of
The other
with the
stuff.
snaps. Yeah,
The shotgun
the
snap,
issue.
really.
yeah. I mean, and look, I get it. As a guy who played center, if you don't get your butt to just the right spot, you're gonna fucking throw that thing to the moon. It's a thing. But like, he's a big man. He's like 6'5", 6'6", and
Nasty.
and he is a fucking mauler. There's a lot of guys who can play center on this roster, not including but not limited to Patterson, fucking Rutledge, Jake Andrews, and then fucking Evan Brown, and technically Fabechi Wiwu.
Yeah.
So I mean, we've got all the utility players that we could possibly do, and I think that they reworked Jared Patterson's deal to potentially keep him around. And if they're going to do that, then something we're going to get into later makes a little bit more sense, and we'll tap into that later. But for now, let's take a look at the unofficial depth chart. First one of the year. Whenever it wants to pop up here. There we go. All right. My end is just slow, so just bear with me.
Oh yeah, we got you. Whew.
Trying to get us to zoom in a little bit, All right. Can you see everything pretty well?
Yeah, I got you. We're good.
Okay, get back. All right. So this is we're going to take a look at the offense here first. This is the offensive unofficial depth chart. Obviously, we kind of expected these two right here. Even this guy, these three pretty well expected. Jaden Higgins, wide receiver 2. Xavier Hutchinson, wide receiver 3.
Didn't see it coming, but
I mean, it makes sense. Jalen Noel's been a little banged up. Tank Dell's been very banged up. And Justin Watson is Justin Watson. So, I mean, it tracks. Dalton Schultz, again, we expected. Moreau at second. I kind of expected that too. Cade Stover ahead of Brevin Jordan and Marlon Klein, who is tight end number 5.
Oh, my God. I don't want to hear that name.
Look, I honestly think he's going to be fine, but I think they're
I don't care if he's going to be fine. They shouldn't have drafted him.
Bro, he's been good. He's been looking good in practice too.
I don't care. Now they're going to try to make it look like it was a steal. It would have been a steal in the next round. Stop playing, man. I'm sorry. It really angers me when you had all these tight ends on, because the tight end position has become so important these days. You need 2 solid ones.
Yeah. And I think we have that in Dalton and Foster. Cade Stover has had his best training camp ever, and Brevin Jordan looks like the definition of a jail body.
Your jail body's crazy.
I mean, he looks like an absolute unit on the top.
He's ripped.
And then has not been able to run or do anything for a while. So I was
about to say his body probably looks maybe probably can do nothing but work out.
Yeah, the top half.
But Them legs skinny as hell.
So I'm saying the prison body. But look, so Noah Whittington at running back 5 is interesting. I know British Brooks got hurt the other day in camp.
Yeah, broken hand.
Okay, so he's probably jumped up to 4 here. And then I know Jaws has gotten a little soft tissue injury or something. So maybe we end up seeing a lot more Whittingham. I hope, or Whittington. I'm sorry. I hope we do. But let's look at the offensive line here. Okay, now there's some interesting ones I want to point out initially. So you got Keelan Rutledge is the center 1.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any immediate thoughts about that?
I think they want this to work, and I think from what he's showing in practice, it's going to work. It's just he got to snap some more, and they want to see if that nasty that we've been hearing about in practice translates to other players.
Yeah. I kind of expected Keelan to also be like a backup guard somewhere.
Yeah.
And I get why, but whatever. Wyatt Teller, Trent Brown, or Braden Smith.
It's crazy.
I do know this kid Sam Hagan is an undrafted rookie out of like South Dakota State, and he keeps getting absolutely destroyed by Will Anderson.
I can't believe he's still on the team. When they started cutting players, like what was it, earlier this week and late last week, I thought he was,
yeah. I mean, at some point you got to imagine. We're gonna come back to some of these guys, and we'll talk about them a little bit more in depth. But now let's look at the defense. Obviously, Will Anderson, Tommy Togiai, Sheldon Rankins, Daniil Hunter. Nothing really changed there. Then you look at the second team for the defensive line: Dylan Horton, new face Logan Hall, rookie Caden McDonald, and old school throwback Jadeveon Clowney coming in as the defensive end number 3.
I love Jadeveon Clowney, and I never forgive them for drafting him number 1. I don't care.
Yeah.
I will always feel that way because I knew very little about Jadeveon Clowney except for the hit before they drafted him. Couldn't believe that they drafted him. That one hit is I swear you didn't hear anything else about him but that hit. That hit was crazy. It was great. Not saying it wasn't great. Not saying he didn't. I don't know. I am saying he didn't deserve to get drafted number 1. I don't care what anybody says.
He's like 6'6" and ran like a 4.4.
Yeah, which is why and never. I mean, they should have the way our defense is right now. That's how I should have looked at with JJ and Clowney, and it never did. You had your games here and there, but it never for real did. It was like JJ was still doing all the work. That's how I feel.
Yeah. Well, Clowney, at several points, I don't think quite lived up to billing,
to anything.
Right.
To anything.
But anyway, now let's take a look at the third team defensive line. Solomon Byrd, I don't think he's going to end up making the roster. No. You got Mario Edwards Jr., who I did not realize was still on the team.
They re-signed.
I did not either.
They re-signed him when they did Clowney. They brought him and Clowney in the same day.
Okay, that makes sense. Naquan Jones, obviously we know we re-signed him. He's been impressive in camp, and he's been taking Caden McDonald off to the side. They're both very, very big men, and Naquan is he's actually like a really good space-eating defensive tackle.
Somebody at the DT is not making the team. It's 6 deep.
Yeah.
And all 6 of those guys can play.
Yeah. And then Keontae Hamilton, who was a 6th, 7th round draft pick a couple years ago, was hurt last year. You got to imagine at some point they're going to, I bet he makes the practice squad, but at some point you got to see what the kid's got. He's going to be somebody I'm interested in watching in the preseason game. Let's take a look at the linebackers. So we got Aziz and Henry T as the linebackers 1 and 2. And then second team, you got Wade Woodaz and Marty Mapu. Look at Jamal Hill, incumbent, been here for 2 years. Jamal Hill is fucking
He's
fifth or
very.
sixth, like deep back there. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Hanson's hurt,
Yep.
and Hummel is hurt. So we might actually see Aiden Fisher, who is rocking. I didn't realize he's rocking D'Amico's old number.
He is.
Fucking ballsy. Hey, coach, I know you played linebacker and such.
Oh, no, it's already gone.
You talking to me? Okay. Obviously, Derek Stingley, Kamari Laster, solid. And then you look at the nickel, Jalen Petrie. Look at the second team there: Tremont Smith, Jalen Smith, Elijah Huzzy, who I have understood to be kind of a training camp darling. He has stepped in, and like there's really not a drop off when Petrie steps off the field. Colin Wright, Stephen Hall, and I have only heard that Stephen Hall gets penalties every day, and that he is built like a linebacker because he's like at least 6'1", 6'2", and probably about 215 of just solid muscle.
He's physical.
As he's big as fuck. For a corner, just way too big, especially the way they like to play corner.
I thought at some point through the training camp he was going to be playing some safety.
Yeah,
I've seen him. You're right. He's
some of the guys that we kind of initially thought of as just pure corners: Jamarcus Ingram as a safety, Kamari Ramsey, who's kind of a hybrid position in the same way Petrie. Exactly. Yeah, but Elijah Huzzy, I think, has that locked down. But I am encouraged that Kamari Ramsey is currently safety number 4 behind Jalen Reed, I assume. That's hype. And that almost like I feel like they're hoping Kamari Ramsey can bail them out when inevitably Reed Blankenship or Kalen Bullock leaves. And I think that's what the plan is, because they're not going to be able to pay everybody, even though they have literally paid everybody.
Yeah, because I think the decision in a second is going to be Kalen Bullock or Kamari Laster.
Yeah. And that's going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
But you think about it, do you want the shutdown? Because I mean his Laster the second year was crazy.
Laster the first year.
I know, but
a Pro Bowl caliber corner since he's been in the league.
And I agree. I just feel like last year he was just even better, and a lot of it. But that's when you I agree that they are great players. That's when sometimes, man, this is how you know coaching matters. This is how you know coaching matters. I understand D'Amico might have been the only coach they've known since being in the NFL, but coaching matters.
Yeah.
Dino Vasso is known around the league. The Texans gave him a raise for a reason.
Yep. All right, now let's get into special teams here. Now, we're not going to obviously dwell too long on this here, but another player to watch for me is Kai Kroger. I don't know that they've actually brought in another punter to compete with him yet, but he has not been good in camp. And I hope I think that what they're doing is just kind of banking on the fact that the offense is going to be better. And they're just like, maybe we won't have to punt that much.
Well, they released Stonehouse.
Because he was ass.
Yes. But they said him and Kai Kroger were both ass. It's just like he was less ass, I guess.
Yeah, his ass smelled the least bad. Then you got kick return, punt return, Jalen Knoll, both of them, first team. Then you've got punt return, Tank Dell, second team.
I'm terrified about that, slightly. Just a touch.
Yeah.
And I before I forget, I don't want to see Tremont Smith returning kicks anymore.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it. I like who likes to watch train accidents?
Right.
Well, we'll see. We'll see, guys.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to see Tremont Smith in the Texans uniform, just to throw that out there.
Wow.
mean, damn. Let's take his livelihood, why don't you?
Yeah, man, it's got kids to feed, man.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. He's a millionaire. Don't care if he's bad whenever he's on the field.
I mean, true. He is absolute cheeks when he's doing anything not special teams related. All right, so players to watch. We already mentioned Kai Kroger. We already mentioned a couple other guys. Keelan Rutledge, if they roll out the first team offensive line, I hope they do, so they can just kind of get any sort of rhythm established. I would like Noah Whittington, absolutely somebody to watch. There is a better than good shot that he could beat Jaws for running back 3,
especially with Jaws not playing.
Yeah, and it's NFL is what have you done for what have you done for me lately kind of league, and well, Jaws has really hardly been available for much of his career. So Whittington's availability and I mean his substantially larger frame and potential same top end. I feel like there's just more upside right now.
Well, you shit. Until Josh played, I forgot he was on the team. That's just
Lewis Bond is another guy I'm looking forward to.
Okay, Lewis Bond.
Mm-hmm. And that Lewis Bond and Josh Kelly are the 2 receivers that I want to see what they're going to do with their playing time.
That's fair.
It sucks that we have 5 receivers that are pretty much guaranteed to be on the team.
I mean, I don't know if that sucks. I mean, a few years ago, we were hoping that it was literally, okay, did we get anybody to help D-Hop? No. Fuck. All right.
Well, and when I say sucks, it sucks for the guys trying to make the team.
I mean, yeah, but that's like as the team,
me as a fan.
Well, as a fan, as the coach, I mean, it's a good problem to have. But I mean, yeah, you're fighting for your football lives and you're fighting against guys who are pretty much already locked in. So you got to be stellar. You got to be better than what's already confirmed. You got to make a surprise appearance, much, much larger one than maybe what you're getting out of wide receiver 4. And, Bond basically played in the same system because Bill O'Brien used it at Boston College. So he kind of already knows the ins and outs of everything.
And Josh Kelly has had highlight after highlight every practice.
Yeah.
He's another big-bodied receiver with good hands and good route running.
Yeah.
Sounds a lot like Nico and Higgins.
Yeah. True. Someone else who's surprisingly is developing a little bit of a rapport with CJ Stroud, Jared Wayne.
Yep. I feel bad for Jared because
I mean, I don't know if you heard, but on one of the, it was either SNL or one of the Landry pods, where basically he had called Tank Dell after the injury and was like, yo, man, my bad. So sorry. Like, I never wanted to do that kind of thing. You're my boy. And I guess he sent him a text.
Mm-hmm.
And Tank got back to him and was like, yeah, man, no worries. Like, it's football. It happens. Good. And Cody, yeah, I think it was SNL because Cody brought up, he's like, man, can you imagine, like, after he sent that text, just like the length of time until Tank Dell responded, he's just kind of hanging on a thread there.
I think they said he had to wait a couple of days. Could you imagine? It's like, damn, he's pissed.
Yeah.
And he was just busy. He's just busy.
He's doing Tank Dell shit, HEB commercials and whatnot.
Well, no, at that time, it was immediately after the injury. He's in the hospital.
Yeah. They were rebuilding his knee like the $1 Million Man.
Yeah.
$6 Million Man, whatever the fuck it was. Chris, you got a player to watch? Or no, he's not available at the moment. All right. When he comes back, we'll.
Well, and that's just offensive line. It's the offensive line.
As a whole.
Keelan Rutledge is pretty much the guy we're all going to be watching.
Yeah. I want to see what Fabechi does. I mean, there's a reason he's further down on the depth chart, but
we care. We care, but technically, do we want to see Fabechi play this year?
I mean, not unless there's some injury.
Some really bad injury.
Okay. All right, let's get into some training camp narratives, my man.
Okay.
And also don't have a player to watch. Y'all name them all because I'm not gonna name anyway. I mean, if we're talking about new incoming players, none of them because I've already named them.
Wade Woodaz.
That was my other one.
I'm going to say.
Right now, Wade Woodaz is live.
Yeah, actually, I do want to see what he does.
Somebody called,
especially since we don't have
EJ Speed.
Mm-hmm. No Jake Hansen.
Yeah, I was him.
Oh
yeah, he's hurt too, right?
Yep.
I don't know the linebacker thing. I feel like in the Miko system, he knows how to have all the linebackers plug and play. So I don't. I hate saying it like that, and I feel bad. Just think about what an elite linebacker are doing in the Miko system, and we have a couple of them.
Yeah,
but just think about shit. If we for real had some of the best linebackers, shit, motherfuckers ain't ever scoring.
Do you know it crossed my head of something that sounds bad to say? But I think Wade Woodaz was playing so good in football that Henry Toa said, you know what? I agree to that contract that y'all were trying to offer. I'll take a picture. He saw like, oh shit.
Yep.
This guy might replace me.
Had to make him feel a certain way. All right, so training camp narratives. A lot of fights at camp this year. Something that's not been a big thing, and it's mostly the offensive line and the defensive line. And as a big guy myself, I fucking love that. You want those offensive line and defensive line fucking mean and nasty. Keelan Rutledge is at the center of a lot of them.
As he should be.
And what they say, it's not practice till Keelan gets into it with somebody.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm hyped for that. I mean, that feels a lot more like our offensive line isn't just kind of a vanilla bland group of haphazardly thrown together pieces. But
hey, but I think my wife was looking at it. It's gonna sound fun to say this, but she thought when she was looking at it, she said it looked like a bunch of pissed off ginger.
Yeah.
Because we got quite a few gingers now.
Yeah. Braden Smith, fucking Keelan.
And Wyatt.
Oh, yeah, and Wyatt. I forgot he was technically a ginger. Do you think it's in any way a bad thing, all the fights in camp?
Because the fights don't actually turn into like actual drug outs and there's punches thrown. It hasn't been punches thrown. This guy's pushing. This guy's been aggressive. I'm good with that.
Okay.
When you start throwing punches, it's sort of stupid because y'all are wearing helmets.
That's true. I've never understood that.
I'm sitting here kind of talking shit. No, I always thought that shit was stupid too with the fucking punching with the helmet on because I'm like, fuck, I know that shit hurts like hell. Ain't no fucking way I'm about to punch a motherfucker with helmet on.
Exactly. Right there. Thank you. Titans taking for 2. Yes, that is exactly. 2 tackles got thrown out. We haven't had any thrown out of practices.
Yeah. Well, have we even had joint practices yet? No.
No, but
I don't think so.
It'd be like the Raiders. The Raiders got to throw out their own players against themselves.
It's true.
Well, I know this much. I know the when Cowboys fans, they real happy because oh my God, their defense looked so great against Matt Stafford in practice.
Yeah.
Right now, you know what I think about Matt Stafford right now? I think about AI. Practice. That's what I think about when I think about Matthew Stafford. Practice. When I think about Puka Nacua. Practice. When I think about Devontae Adams. Practice. Are you kidding me?
I'm not going to say this very often, but the Cowboys defense will be better. But
they will be
trashed before, so that's not really a high bar.
Yeah,
exactly.
Here's another narrative: Trent Brown getting reps at left tackle 2. What do you guys think about that? If he loses the battle at right tackle and becomes your swing tackle, doesn't that free up Blake Fisher to be traded or cut? Then you
except
then
for
you
the
can
fact
put that roster spot to another use.
But the problem is we have 2 tackles that are both injury prone.
True. I mean, in that situation, Trent Brown's right there.
But he's the other injury prone.
Well, I know, but then you bring. I don't think you're keeping 4 tackles.
I think they will, because the problem is,
are they keeping Fabechi Wee on the roster?
Yeah, but he's not a great tackle.
No. I'm just saying, if they're keeping him and Rutledge and Patterson and Wyatt Teller and Ed Ingram, that's 5 guard centers.
I think they're keeping 9 offensive linemen.
I don't think they're keeping Blake Fisher unless he's just becoming.
But the thing is, Blake Fisher's been playing pretty good in practice now.
I know, and he got and I will say Blake Fisher did get better as the season ended last year. We cannot forget those things.
They're keeping 9 offensive linemen.
Yeah, and there's also I'm trying to think. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody.
You said Jake Andrews,
Patterson,
Keelan Rutledge,
Fabechi.
Evan Brown was probably the guy.
That's 4 right there.
Yeah, Evan Brown. And then you have Wyatt Teller and Ed Ingram.
Evan Brown and what's his name? Not Jake Andrews, the other guy.
Patterson.
Evan Brown and Patterson don't both make the team. One or the other.
I mean, I think there's a pretty positive world where maybe both of them don't make the team. Because I think you have the positional versatility with Andrews.
But Andrews only plays center. He's only ever played center. He's never been anything.
They've used him in certain guard situations. Not in games, obviously, but
he's not good at it.
I mean,
he's barely good at it.
I understand. But then you still have Fabechi, who's played guard and center.
Yes.
So, I mean, you're not losing all the versatility there, but I think you're going to have to get cheaper real quick.
Well, and Evan Brown's making more than Patterson now.
Yeah, it's true. But I think Trent Brown getting reps at left tackle too does at least open the door to the idea of getting rid of Blake Fisher. Maybe they don't, maybe they do, but maybe this influences somebody to call Commanders for interest at left tackle. Who knows? Is CJ Stroud in the middle of his best camp?
Yes.
I
think last year he didn't have a good grasp or understanding on the offensive strategies, really. I don't think our offensive coordinator had a good grip on the strategies himself.
Yeah.
Commanders, the Browns. Yes.
The Browns drafted a guy.
And the second half.
I mean, I guess, but
and I feel like rookie.
He's Chris. Tank Dell, wide receiver number 5. It's crazy to think about, isn't it?
It better only be because of the injury.
I have no problem with that. That's the only reason I would put him at number 5. I have no problem with it. I mean,
I'm gonna be honest.
Because
I
didn't even know if he was gonna even be.
I don't want to see him play preseason. I don't want to see Tank play preseason. It's not worth it.
No, I mean,
I feel like he has to though.
Why?
I feel like he's got to
get actual football. Something.
I don't know that he will. But I agree. But I also, I think he needs to get some actual practice reps with the team where he's, actually running around and doing stuff before they're actually going to be comfortable putting him in a game.
And I think that's what the joint practices. I think that's when they'll see it. They won't waste their time putting them in their preseason.
Yeah.
It's not like you're dealing with a rookie or a guy who's never played NFL football before.
Right.
And I actually think they want to surprise a lot of other teams with how healthy he really is, how fast and quick he still is. If they show too much during the play calling during the preseason, I wouldn't even read that much into it.
Yeah. Yeah, everything's super bland.
Yep.
So, all right. Managing perspectives for the offense and defense based on training camp reports. So basically, in a nutshell, we all know that the Texans defense is fucking pretty good. Probably, injuries notwithstanding, probably a top 2 or 3 defense in the league. So it's hard to get a good read on how good or bad the offense is actually doing, because they did this to basically everybody's offense last year. There's just maybe this means that maybe the offense, who's been struggling against our defense, will only struggle against top-end defenses, in which case, if that means that we can handle everything south of the top 3, I'm cool with it.
We'll fuck around and have a top 5 offense.
Right? That would be awesome. But I would settle for probably top 15.
You're nice to me. I said top 10. I want a top 10.
Yeah, because right now I don't want to settle. I ain't gonna lie to you. I agree with Mike. I don't want to settle because the offense was just so bad. It was just so bad.
But going from where we were to top 15 is a massive improvement.
But the thing was, in certain categories, we were top 15 last year. Certain categories.
Yeah. But like, imagine if that was just like it. Like we weren't averaging, bottom 3 and rush yards a game or whatever. Maybe we're somewhere in the upper middle of the pack. I'm fucking cool with it.
I don't want Kaimi to lead the NFL in scoring.
If we get to that point where we're upper middle of the pack, I don't believe that he is. I think if we were upper middle of the pack last season, we are looking at Kaimi attempting 10 less field goals.
Because the thing was, last year in red zone scoring, we were one of the better teams in the NFL. That's because Kaimi kept kicking field goals.
Yeah, we kicked a shitload of field goals. So what I'm getting at with all of this is like we got to manage the perspectives. We're going to hear that the offense is having all these really bad days, but you got Derek Stingley and Kamari Lassiter out there fucking locking shit down. You don't hear from Nico Collins all day in practice until CJ just uncorks one for 50 yards and Nico goes up and makes a fucking play. Jaden Higgins is having to go up and catch passes because that's the only place he can put it where the safeties can't fucking touch it. Like the defense is flying the fuck around and the offense is learning to adjust.
What was it they said about Will Anderson? They said Will Anderson can wreck practice whenever he fucking feels like it.
Yeah.
He just has to decide not to. You know what? I'm gonna let them go ahead and get their rocks off real quick. We'll let them have it.
Mm-hmm.
What D'Amico said it earlier in the year, he had to stand Will next to him for the offense to run plays.
Yeah.
You have
I love it.
The best defensive end duo in the NFL.
Yeah.
Easily.
Your defensive tackles are now strong. You got a bunch of run-stopping defensive tackles in there.
Mm-hmm.
Jadeveon Clowney is your third best defensive end.
Yeah.
We're in a good spot. I want to be so excited for that, but I have no excitement for that right now. Jadeveon Clowney is going to have one good play all season. Everybody's going to be like, he's back. And I feel like he was never here.
Brother,
Clowney's going to have 5 to 6 sacks.
He's basically got to be.
Oh, I'm not saying he's not. I think he can have 5 or 6 sacks. I just think he's going to have one really good. I'm going to put it like this. Even though I think I'm gonna give you a good example of somebody, and I'm be honest, I actually like them better than Jadeveon Clowney, and that's Derek Barnett. Just have some crazy plays that happens out of nowhere. That's Jadeveon Clowney to me. Just some crazy plays that happen out of nowhere, and I don't know.
As much as I hate to say it, Clowney played incredible for the Cowboys.
Yeah, he led their team in sacks last year.
Sacks, tackles.
Come on, man. Come on now. We're not doing that. We're not doing that, Mike. That defense.
Was terrible.
No, but that's
that defense was that defense.
It's not like
saying. That defense was so bad.
But you're not understanding. It's not like he led them with 5 sacks. The man had 8.5 and 41 tackles for loss.
No, I mean, and I could.
Even if
but
the
who else were they going to put out there?
It doesn't matter.
Who else were they going to put out there though?
Well, it doesn't matter if you put them out there. Other teams with bad defenses did not have one guy that even looked good. The whole defense just looked like trash.
The Cardinals.
I mean,
exactly.
I was about to say. I mean, the only team, even though they just changed, even though he's not with them anymore, Trey Hendrickson. That's the best example I can give you on somebody who was incredible on a bad defense. Miles Garrett, their defense was good, but Trey Hendrickson, that's a good one. I'm not gonna say Miles Garrett because their defense is normally good.
No, but
their offense
that's what I mean by a single good player having a good season on a bad defense. You can't blame it on everybody else unless it's your linebacker. If you mess like how many tackles did old boy Devin White have last year? Like 160? Because everybody else sucked. The Raiders defense sucked. So he looked really, really good on a bad defense. Defensive ends, defensive linemen, that doesn't happen.
Yeah. All right. Look, let's pivot here and get this last little thought here off and then hop off for the evening. Something you want to see in this final or in the first preseason game. I'm going to start us off here. I want to see a passing touchdown 20 yards or longer. Okay. Passing touchdown 20 yards in the air longer. Rushing yards, I want to see a collective rushing yards of over 120.
Okay. We're in the same boat. I want to see that. I want to see a consistent running game. To be honest, if it's not 120 yards, I want 4 to 4.5 yards per carry.
Yeah.
Wade whoop ass. All right, Brandon. I love it.
Or somebody calls him Splinter Butt on Landry's pod. Okay, so I've got 120 plus rushing yards or 4.5 a carry.
Yep.
Okay. Anything else? Chris, you got anything?
I want to see
y'all did rushing. You said one pass over 20 yards, or just one?
Passing touchdown over 20 yards.
Yeah.
Oh, passing touchdown over 20 yards. I don't think we're gonna see that, but I would like to.
Oh. I want to see.
I'm trying to think. I
want to see what we
honestly. I
time.
Yeah, that's what I really want to see. I want to see what he does.
Yeah. Defensive touchdown.
Yeah. Hey, my boy Colin.
I agree.
The cornerback Colin will probably be the guy to get it. I think so.
Wee woo pancakes. That'd be pretty hot. All right. Well, look, gentlemen, I think those are going to be some pretty good options. I hope we can hit any of those. Do you have any closing comments before we hop off here for the evening?
Guys, preseason football is football. Stop downplaying. Preseason football is football.
Stop the hate.
No, it ain't.
Please stop it.
It's football, man.
Because in a minute, they're going to keep cutting down these preseason games. So the next thing we know, there's 2 preseason games a year.
Chris, you got something?
Yeah, but aren't they doing that to add more? Aren't they doing that to add more regular season games? In that with the points supposed to be That's supposed to be the point.
But the problem of it is when they
it
do
doesn't
that,
make me
that last regular
different.
season game ain't real. Week 18, nobody plays any starters.
They've gotten better. When I was growing up, it felt like the final 3 weeks, if a team had already like locked up the division, like there were many times I just saw the Colts just fucking coast.
Lay down.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not even lay down, but they'd be like 13-1 going into the final 2 or 3 games, and then just Peyton would come out just to snap the ball one time, and then Jim Sorgie's weird ass would come out there.
Oh no, Curtis Painter.
Oh yeah. Well, either way. But look, gentlemen, a pleasure to have you on as always. We will be doing these more and more often as we get closer and closer to the regular season. So make sure you are checking us out. Make sure you're going on over to the at Mass 3 Productions to support Mike and his endeavors. Make sure you're going to at That's Crazy Podcast and Talk to support Chris. And then like and subscribe here anytime you can. Folks, be good people. Fuck the Cowboys. Go Texans.
Go Texans.